Hey, what's going on? It's Michael Cadet here, Cross Country Mortgage. Hope you are having a great week, and I hope you're going to have a great weekend as well. If you're going out there house hunting, this will be good for you to just keep in mind and keep in the back of your mind as you're house hunting out there. Just want to give you some updates as to what's going on in the market, and give you some insights as to any changes that potentially may be going on and some things to think about. So, of course, if you have any questions about anything, feel free to reach out. Interest rates have still been hovering around that 6.5% rate range, based off of the Iran conflict. That's been the main thing that's been causing the increase in interest rates. And the reason why interest rates have been going up, because typically in a situation like this, interest rates typically go down when there's some type of macroeconomic or global type of catastrophe or catastrophic event that occurs. Typically, that has a negative effect on stock markets for people to flee from the stock markets and seek shelter in the bond markets. And that's what increases the bond markets and lowers your interest rate. So, and all that's just to say is that typically, in an event where there is some type of big conflict going on, some type of natural disaster, some act of God that happens, that interest rates typically go down. But in this case, interest rates are going up. Right. And the reason why interest rates are going up is because one of the small little indicators that a lot of economists like to look at when they're looking at whether interest rates are going to go up or how the economy is going to be impacted is this nagging little thing called inflation. And so, since oil has a big impact on inflation, that's going to cause some problems in the markets right now. So the reason why you're seeing interest rates go up right now is because oil has a direct impact on inflation. Why does it have a direct impact on inflation? That's because oil has a direct impact on energy, and energy has a direct impact on a lot of things. Just think about how you receive your groceries, everything, your all your goods, from your groceries to your stores to the tires at your shop. I mean, everything relies on oil and moves around based off of oil. So if that goes up or if it's harder to access, then the cost of that's going to go up. So the cost to transport things is going to go up. So the cost of goods to deliver to you and services and all that stuff is eventually going to go up. The cost always gets passed on to the end user. All right. So that's really the result of this whole Iran conflict is that the costs are going up. So, inflation is what directly gets impacted because of this. And so this is the reason why interest rates are staying stubbornly a little bit more higher than we would like them to be. So that is what's going on right now. But but here's the good thing though. Here is the good news. All right, because there is a silver lining, with all of this. The good news is that as we start to head out of the home buying season, I mean, we're in July right now. So what that's going to do is that's going to start opening up some opportunities for home buyers. Okay, so home sellers, I would definitely encourage you guys to, you know, definitely squeeze out this last bit of opportunity that you currently have right now to get the primo price on whatever you're trying to sell right now. Obviously, try to list that thing to make it look as good as possible because the window of opportunity to get the most optimal price is closing. And also, put your best foot forward. Put don't just try to put lipstick on a pig. Try to go ahead and make all the upgrades, do all the little fixtures and all the little knickknacks that you need to do to go ahead and get your property up to par to sell up for 2026 standards and be able to compete out there in the market. But for a home buyer, this does open up some opportunities because as we do start to head into the fall season, home prices and homes typically tend to start to sit on the market a little bit. So, strategies that can really come up in this season that's going to be approaching pretty soon is going to be strategies like the 2-1 buy down strategy that I talk about a lot. Asking for seller credits to help pay for your closing costs. Maybe you might be a little short, on your closing cost. So asking the sellers to help pay for that may be something worth looking into, looking for properties that are sitting on the market for a little bit longer as we head into that slower paced market, because that will give you some opportunity and some room just to be able to negotiate really more on terms, so maybe you'll be able to negotiate a longer escrow. Maybe you'll be able to negotiate some seller credits in there in order to do a 2-1 buy down, or maybe do a split 1-0 buy down and use another portion of it to do to pay for your closing cost. So there's a lot of different ways we can structure the offer. If there's any homes out there that you are interested in, there's still a lot of inventory out there, depending on which market that you're in. I know I cover a lot of different markets from, Northern California to Southern California, all the way from southern states to the East Coast. So, but if there's any homes out there that you are currently eyeing right now that you want to get some numbers on, just shoot me the address and just let me know kind of the range of what you're looking to offer, and I'll put together some personalized options for you to consider. So you can just take a look and see what the purchasing price is going to look like, see what the cash to close is going to look like, and that way you just get an idea as to what you're going to feel comfortable with when it comes time for you to pull the trigger. Now, always keep in mind though, is that when we get you into this home, is that this is not going to be for one, typically, if it's your first home, it's not going to be your forever home. But for two, it's not going to be typically the last loan that we do for you, right? Because we're going to always look for opportunities to improve your monthly payment, right? And that may include restructuring the financing. And sometimes people may think, well, if I refinance the debt, what is that going to do to my mortgage up? Because I don't want to reset the clock 30 years. Well, you don't really necessarily have to. There's a lot of different strategies that we can go into. And because you're part of my special club, I always share with you every secret and every, trick and tool that I have available to me. But, there's always all these different strategies that you can apply. You can do like the recast strategy. So if you have a lot of cash, you come across a lot of cash throughout the year, you can always take that lump sum of cash and use it to reduce your principal balance of the loan, right? So that's one way to adjust the monthly payment without even having to do a refinance, and be able to reduce the monthly payment without having to go through, an appraisal, escrow, title, and all that good stuff, right? So that'll save you some money. Or even if you decide to do a refinance and it makes sense, right? It makes sense on a monthly payment scale. The question that typically comes up and should come up is that, well, do I have to reset the clock 30 years to pay off this mortgage? Well, let's just say you paid the mortgage down by 3 years. We can just set up a 27-year loan, that no problem. We'll just pick up the amortization from where you left off and just carry on until the next milestone. Or if you want to look at options that pays off the loan in 25 years, or in 20 years, or in 15 years, there's a lots of different ways that we can take a look at it and structure it and strategize here for you. So, but just let me know whatever you think. I just want to remind you that the opportunity for you to own your own home is still very much alive. Okay, so I know if you haven't bought a home yet, if we have spoken before in the past, or if we putting things on pause for right now, just know that there's still an opportunity out there for you to purchase a home. All right, and you're that much closer to buying that home than you think. Okay, because I believe in you. Okay, and I know there's a lot of other people that believe in you. My whole team believes in you. We've seen people who start with, just pulling together every little resource that they have and start just with that, and then end up with their keys in their hand. And then there you go. It's like this generational wealth just gets birthed right there. And it's such an honor to be a part of those journeys with a lot of people. And I want to make this happen for you. And it is very possible to make this happen for you. But all you got to do is take that first step and make a plan with me. And that's the step that we take together. Is the first step that we take together is putting together a plan. Okay, that's going to get you from point A to point B. Okay, which is going to get you from not owning a home to owning a home. All right, from maybe renting a home right now to buying your first new home. Might even be from, going from owning a home that you have right now to figuring out, like, well, hey, how do I buy this new home before selling this existing home that I currently have right now, because I don't have the cash, on hand in order to go ahead and make this purchase. All my cash is pretty much wrapped up in this house that I have right now. So how do I go ahead and do that? So there's a lot of different strategies that we can look at to make this type of stuff happen. But the first step is putting together that plan. All right. That's the first step right there. Okay. But let me know what you think here. If you have any questions or have any comments, feel free to go ahead and put your comments and questions in the comment section, and go ahead and subscribe to my channel. I'll be posting content here and there. I'm hoping to try to increase the level of content that I'm going to be producing over the next few months. So just keep an eye out for that. But if you have any questions, let me know. 707-981-0524. And if you have any scenarios that you want to see, feel free to just shoot me an email, michael.cadet@ccm.com. Just shoot me the address or just whatever your scenario is, and then I'll be happy to put something together for you. All right. Hope you're having a great day, everybody. Talk to you soon. Have a great weekend. Bye.